Alright, both players ready, so let's count down for the first game of the match. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Can we remove the avatar backgrounds? Okay, we can do that. How do we do that? That is a good question. I am not a... Is it clear field overlays? That's this? Okay, it's clearly not that. Well, in the meantime, both players getting up very high here. Both will get a bar to bring things down. And another bar shows, though, Redshurt unable to use it just yet. Having to take some burns. But will do well to reopen the well here. The nice L piece there. Going to bring things down with a triple. You can just clear out the field. Oh wait, I can do this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Figuring out an NTC. It's a confusing one. But what's not confusing is the two players stacking right now. Nice and clean, though getting up a little bit high is running into a drought. Redshurt up so high here, needs some better pieces to burn. Gets the T to the left-hand side. Or rather to the right, pardon me. Redshurt reopens the well, there's a nice bar. No problem for Redshurt in the end because lovely burns and he's just back to stacking. As easy as you like, and now just a 1.5 Tetris difference between the two players. Rahmations, no way he solves it. He won't be able to in the end. That might have been nearly the best solve you'll ever see. Spitting that J in there to give himself an opportunity for a Z-Tuck plus a Vitz. And now actually trailing Redshurt here. So that J misdraw, which he wasn't quite able to resolve cleanly, has now allowed Redshurt to take a massive lead here. That's a big swing from Rahmations having just under a 2 Tetris lead. Now just under a 3 Tetris lead for Redshurt. So Redshurt making use of every opportunity he's been given at the moment. Well, Rahmations is just looking to reopen things. Really, he's not found any help from the game at the moment. And needs an L piece that won't quite show. Won't quite be set up for the Vitz. And in the meantime, Redshurt filling out that left side with an L piece. Needs another long bar though. Gets the bar over, but doesn't burn anything. Fortunately though, was very aware and no Phantom Burn gonna take out Redshurt. Dirty Tetris of Rahmations. A left well up on row number 5. Gee, with Rahmations, you never know what you're gonna get, but what you can expect is always very good aggression. However, with that Vitz not being able to score a Tetris, Rahmations kind of slowing down a bit in efficiency here. Has scored a couple quick ones, but still trailing by over 100,000 points. 5.5 Tetris is the lead for Redshurt. It's exploded during that dig that Rahmations had. And Ra just not finding pieces to help him out at the moment. He would, honestly, he would love any piece that would work, but Ra's not getting anything. Gets a bar finally to bring things down, but of the 2 J's that he would have been very useful, he found pretty much none. Set up for a dirty here, and we'll get the dirty, but while he is finding the Tetris here and there with these pretty aggressive setups, Redshurt has been so clean scoring. Tetris for Redshirt 517. Tetris for Rahmations 384. 5.5 Tetris is the difference. Otherwise, 130,000 points. Both players will transition with their next Tetris. And Redshirt, though, getting up a bit high here. He's going to have to burn in. 543, the transition for Redshirt. Burning also is Rahmations 414. 130,000 points, the difference between the two players. The speed is increased. Now, as we've passed 130 lines, it's going to stay the same for the next 100. Alright, Ra, with a bit of a bar hang there, causing a bit of an awkward moment for his board. We'll have to burn things down, which means Redshirt, another opportunity just to build up that lead. Back over 5 Tetrises again here on level 21. And Ra hits the spin. Lovely stuff there, and there's a Tetris. 528 for Rahmations. 706 for Redshirt. So both players into level 22, and I mean, Redshirt, he has built up some lead. 180,000 is the difference. Ra, not the most friendly pieces, but honestly, it's just all S's. Redshirt did fairly well to deal with it in the end, but he's got a bit of a misdrop. He's up high. Redshirt, he needs to get pieces over because this is very, very dangerous now. The bar hangs for Redshirt, and that's going to do it. Redshirt can't get anything to the left-hand side, and what was an incredible pace lead has just been destroyed by the massive array of S pieces. And now Rahmations in a chase down. Needs to get to 742. So the chase down for Ra is 742. Has plenty of time to do it. But can't line out fully. Would definitely have to pick up a couple Tetrises if he's looking to do it before 29. Alright, Tetris there for Ra. Just over a Tetris left to go. And with that double, it'll now be less than. We'll be able to do it with the next long bar. But Rahmations, alright, finds the bar, finds the Tetris of the matchup. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. So it's an unfortunate game number 1 for Redshirt. Was really impressive in terms of pace-wise. I mean, Ra wasn't having the most efficient game, and Redshirt absolutely took massive advantage of it. It was an unfortunate top out on 23, but maybe we'll get that out of his system early. Try to check out a couple of the nerves. And look to hit back rather in game number 2. Both players underway. The couple Tetrises early on. Alright, Rahmations with a bit of a jagged board. Gets a couple nice pieces to fill it in. Redshirt, a bit of a similar board, honestly, but not quite able to resolve it as did Ra. Alright, getting up a little bit high here. Not set up for the Tetris. That will only be a triple. And opts to take the burns to bring things down. So a bit of a drought means Rahmations actually wasn't able to punish Redshirt for that dig, and this drought now almost 40 pieces. Sees Redshirt probably not lose too much efficiency. Taken off the headphones. He's going to lock himself in here in game number 2. And I mean, both players nice and clean. Not a whole lot to say at the moment. Both players kind of in scoring positions, though Redshurt, with a couple of awkward pieces, will have to do some burning once again. Nice double tuck there for Ra, though nearly ran into a couple of more issues. Does well though to keep himself clean. Does have a bit of a hole in row 4. Will opt to just take some burns and is now set up for a bit of a risky Vits. Unfortunately, will not be able to get the bar to fill things in, but does well to bring things down. A nice Tetris there. Both players neck and neck here past the halfway mark of level 18. Alright, Redshurt with a couple holes, but nice skim there to clean things up. Really not a whole lot to say throughout this game number 2 here. Both players have been clean throughout the 18 speeds, with the occasional dig. And I mean, they're just scoring Tetrises non-stop. Over 70% Tetris rates for the two players. So looking at possibly maybe a 600k transition. Alright, Ra getting up a little bit high here. Gets a nice bar to bring things down and the LPs to burn. But not a great square, and it's forced to cover up the well as the bar shows up. So for the first time in what feels like 50 lines, a 1 Tetris lead now for Redshurt. And it's only 1 Tetris, but it's the first real lead that we've seen throughout the entirety of the last 50 lines. It's just been so close between the two players, matching each other in their efficiency. And Redshurt not able to find a piece to help out the board there. Looking for a long bar. Long bar does show up, but will be forced to take a few burns. In the meantime, Rahmations now taking advantage of this burn situation. Up to 5... what am I saying? 538. 510 for Redshurt as Redshurt now scores a Tetris. So both players very close, but we're right before transition and Rahmations not getting some good pieces. Gonna have to burn in at 543. Needs to look... is looking for a bar to bring things down. We'll find the bar, but still a bit of work to do. In the meantime, Redshurt set up for the Tetris, looking for the bar, and there it is. Redshurt will transition at 561, so about a 1 Tetris lead for Redshurt at the transition. Rahmations now on level 20. We'll take the raw lead, but not quite the lead in terms of pace, though Rahmation, or rather Redshurt, in a bit of trouble here. Gets a bar for the Tetris, but needs some more pieces to bring things down. So now in a bit of a dig situation. Rahmations clean, scores the Tetris, going up to 665. 2 Tetrises to lead now for Ra, make it 3. As Redshurt still digging out of this situation, that early hang on 19. Still causing him a lot of trouble in this dig. Reopening the well is Redshurt, and finally Tetris ready, and there we go. Tetris for Redshurt, 643. Rahmations with a bit of an early tuck. He might have the lead, but it might not last too much longer because this is a very difficult dig for Ra. Gets a lovely T-spin. That'll help clean things up a lot easier and is actually open for the Tetris. looking for a long bar, but the long bar won't show. Ra having to do some cleanup, but cleans up beautifully as Redshurt gets up a little bit high as well. Opens up the well, but misses the skim on the tee. Still able to burn things out pretty cleanly, but that is a misread on the NTC. I believe it should be an 8. But still back by a few Tetrises from Ra. Ra, I think, is at 836. I don't think that's a B, should be an 8. So yeah, 869 now for Ra, 776 for Redshirt into level 26. About a 1 Tetris lead in terms of the pace, but a few Tetrises in terms of raw score. So both plays clean here. That 29 speed is approaching soon. Redshirt with a Tetris to bring things down. Rahmations getting up high. Gets a nice butter. Bring this stack down, but needs probably a J to help cleans up. Will opt to take some extra burns, but has done well to accommodate with the pieces given. 1 Tetris away from the kill screen is Rahmations here. Looking for this last bar, but the bar has taken its time to show up. Finally will show. Rahmations in an A27. Now just burning. Redshirt, 1 Tetris still available. He's at A15. This Tetris would mean he would transition with a lead. But Ra is up and running here on the 29 speeds. Multiple Tetrises already scored. B11 here for Ra. Will not get the tuck, unfortunately, and now has a bit of cleanup to do. In the meantime, Redshirt into 29 speeds here. Tetris to A94. Ra, very important long bar to bring things down. Less than a Tetris separates the two players, but it is Ra who's ahead by a level and a half in lines. Tetris for Redshirt now taking the lead from Ra. Much cleaner board, but Ra doing very well in this down stack here. Alright, looking for some more pieces. Hasn't quite cleaned up fully just yet. Alright, Ra looking to set up here on level 34. He's still trailing by a Tetris. The Redshirt running into some issues here. Board starting to fall apart here on level 33. Needs something for the left-hand side. Redshirt can't find it. And with that Tetris, Rahmations will go past Redshirt's score and take game number 2. Well, a bit unfortunate there in the end for Redshirt. He did very well to take that lead away from Rahmations on the kill screen, but unfortunately ended up topping out. And Ra, who's still going, isn't too far ahead. And you imagine what could have been if Redshirt could have kept himself going. Rahmations is up 2-0, but we have seen a reverse sweep already tonight. So Redshirt, he'll be looking to make that 2. Alright, Rahmations gonna top out here. Won't be able to get the final Tetris. Not actually even set up for the Tetris. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. What's I said before? Redshirt, he might be down 2-0, but we have already seen a reverse sweep tonight. So hopefully the air might be feeling that reverse sweep. Both plays underway here in game number 3. Rahmations with 1 Tetris on the board already make it 2, as Redshirt already has the same 2 that Ra had. And now Rahmations into a bit of a questionable board here. Might have been looking for a bar spin there, but couldn't quite get it, and now is in a bit of an early dig. So in the meantime, Redshirt will take a very small lead. 1.5 Tetris is the difference, but it's so early on in the game that probably not too significant. Though Rahmations having to take a few burns to maintain this board, and Redshirt will be able to extend that lead out just a little bit more. He's perfect through 6 Tetrises actually at 136. Rahmations looking for a dirty here. And we'll get the bar. 103 for Rahmations, 136 for Redshurt. Alright, Redshurt, just the 1 burn so far through the game. He's at 41 lines with 10 Tetrises scored. Make that 11 now. Very strong game so far from Redshurt. Has about a 2.5 Tetris lead over Ra, who is playing a pretty solid game himself, but not quite able to match the efficiency so far from Redshurt. But as I say, Redshurt now running into a bit of an issue, having to take some burns. Shouldn't be anything too substantial, however, piece is not being too friendly, and Redshurt having to take a few more burns than he would have hoped for, as Rahmations with a couple of misdrops up high here. This could get very dangerous. So a big opportunity for Redshurt to try and capitalize on this lead. Though he is still digging, but his dig is nothing compared to Ra's at the moment. Ra needs a bar, needs it now, and is not quite getting it. Has to take a couple of skims. Can he get the L left? He can. Needs a long bar desperately here, and does get the bar. So Rahmations still alive here, as Redshurt will score a center well Tetris. But I mean, while all of this is happening, Ra still struggling to bring things down. And it's a double flip on the L. So Rahmations having a bit of a nightmare up high here. So Rahmations bringing things down. Finally got his board to a bit more of a stable position, while still burning, at least at a much safer height. Redshurt now with about a 2.5 Tetris lead, 340 to Rahmations, who's at 280. And Redshurt now extending that lead a bit further there with that Tetris. Rahmations has a column 10 bits, does actually get it, and will be looking for another bar for the Tetris. Finds it there, and is actually going to try to keep setting up on this column 9, though the piece is not quite there for Ra, and this board starting to break down again. It's not too dangerous, but as I say that S hangs, and this is very dangerous now for Ra. He misses the square tuck. And as transition is approaching, this is very difficult for Rahmations here. 313 for Ra, 456 for Redshurt. 6, almost 7 Tetris is the difference between the two players. And Rahmations now looking for a bar. Sets up a delayed burn here. And I mean, this has just not been his 18 so far in game number 3. It's the game not helping him out at all, and he's going to transition at 326. Not the transition Ra was hoping for, especially considering Redshurt. He's not even close to transition yet. He might be looking at just under a 600k transition. Rahmations in trouble, needs a bar, and desperately needs the drought terrorizing Ra right now, and he's just not going to get any help. Ra's going to top out at 334 with 3. Let's see how it goes in game number 4 in 3, 2, 1, and Tetris. I did not time my countdown right there. Oh well, such is life. Both players starting out with the same stacking. And, oh, actually keeps it the same. I thought we might see something different. Both players identical stacking. However, Ra is, I think, dancing at the moment. Simul Tetris for the two players. And finally, stacking a little bit differently here. Probably a little bit in the favor of Redshurt. All right, Ra with a bit of a Z, hey. We'll just have to look to clean things up here. And didn't switch to roll in that cleanup. Wasn't quite dangerous, but might be looking for a bit more consistency on the 18 speeds. Finally, though, we'll change the rolling here. Left wall Tetris for Ra. Both players at 95,000 points. Very close one between the two here in the early stages of game number 4. Alright, Rahmations missing the L spin there. A bit unfortunate. Gonna have to switch back to roll. So it looks like he's not quite sure how he wants to go about this 18 at the moment. Obviously, very considering the DAS, considering with a couple of missed flips and missed rolls in the last 18 run, but that loss of mobility makes things very difficult. In the meantime, Redshurt now built up exactly a 2 Tetris lead. 45,000 points the difference between the two players. And well, Redshurt, he's looking for this reverse sweep, and this is exactly the start he's wanted so far. Picked up the first of the 3 games needed, and this has been a very strong start here in game number 4. 220 for Rahmations, 266 now for Redshurt with that Tetris. Alright, Ra looking for a J, will opt for the bar spin instead. But a bit of a drought forming here. The bar eventually shows up for Ra, and another one in fact. 3 quick bars allows Ra to pick up a couple of Tetrises there. And even with that though, Redshirt still maintaining about a 1.5 Tetris lead here. But very efficient play in the last few lines here for both players. Alright, Redshirt, not the cleanest of boards here, but, well, nearly had a clean burn there, but unfortunately a bit of a misdrop on the J piece. He's doing a pretty good job actually of trying to clean things up efficiently. The pieces starting to no longer cooperate, and a bit of a dig now for Redshirt. In the meantime, Rahmations will take the lead. 384 for Ra, 351 for Redshirt. But Redshirt doesn't look too bothered by this dig. It is costing him some efficiency, but will not cost him the game. A bit of a misdrop on the Z piece. Makes things a bit more complicated. And while he's getting pieces left and right, Rahmations barely stays alive. Hung the square right in front of the piece spawn, but got the bar over. And while all eyes were on Redshirt's dig, Rahmations barely stays alive. Now bringing the board all the way back down. While we saw a massive difference in score at transition between the two players last game, it is going to be the complete opposite this one. Rahmations the one now having a strong 18 game, as Redshirt has not been getting any help from the game to bring things down. But I mean, Redshirt, he's no stranger to digs around the 19 speeds. He's doing very well to clean things up. So both players 1 Tetris away from transition here. Redshirt will burn in at 384, Rahmations at 594. So over a 200,000 point lead, the difference between the two players. And we're often running here on the 19 speeds. 50% faster speeds, but also the scoring does increase. So it will be an opportunity for Redshurt to possibly try and get himself back into the game. Alright, Redshurt needs some better pieces here because running into a bit of a problem. A nice bar to accommodate column 3, and he's actually set up for a dirty Tetris. We'll pick it up there. And another quick Tetris on level 22 for Redshurt. And while Rahmations, he also scores a couple quick Tetrises. He's got a bit of a janky board. So some cleanup going to be required here for Rahmations, and this is a massive opportunity for Redshurt. He was trailing by 8 Tetrises at its peak. But with this opportunity, really exactly what he needs to try and reduce that down. Simul Tetris with the 2 players here. Rahmations trying to hold on to this lead, but this board very difficult to navigate around. Doing well with the pieces he's been given, but Redshurt really taking advantage of it now. He might be ahead in by a few lines, but geez, what was once an 8 Tetris lead for Rahmations, now down to just 4. So Redshurt done already a very good job of getting back into this game, and a bit of a hang on the left side for Rahmations, needing to fill it in with the bar, and just more digging for Ra. He'll get a Tetris, but this board not clean at all. Needing some better pieces. But in the meantime, the pieces favoring Redshurt into level 26 here at 774. Still trailing Ra, but in a much better board position. Rahmations looking to clean up here, and will do that. 886 into 26. So still about just under 100,000 point lead. But definitely a whole lot less than what it was at transition. Well, Redshurt scoring freely here on 27, but running into a couple awkward pieces. In the meantime, Ra with a very high right side, needs a bar, gets the bar over. Looking to bring things down here. 954 for Rahmations, 917 for Redshurt. And that kill screen is approaching now for the 2 players. Redshurt wants to make sure he's got a good board here. But this board kind of breaking down here, needs a bar and would love one soon. But the bar is really not showing up for Redshurt. He's into 29 here, up so high. And there's nothing Redshurt can do. Rahmations, he'll also top out right before 29, but it is ahead of Redshirt's score. And it'll be good enough for game number 4. Well, the pieces were not cooperating with either player there at the end. The big drought into 29 ended up being enough to have Rahmations edge over in the end. So Rahmations will be the winner of the second match. It was definitely close at times, but in the end, Rahmations good enough to close out the match. We've got one more match coming up tonight. It'll be Curie versus Guafi. Guafi? Oh, I never sent out the Super Show ping. Let me go do that. Cole now passing 100,000 with that Tetris, trailing TT by just 1 Tetris at the moment. Both players scoring freely here now. A few early burns to start, but looking good now. A few lines into the 18 speeds. Alright, TT passing 200,000 there with that Tetris before the... Oh geez, my mic peaked. Whoa. That was weird. Alright, TT passing 200,000 before the 40 line mark as well, so very strong efficiency to start off here in the first match. Cole also passing 200,000 here at the 40 line mark. So nice start from both players. And definitely what the two will be looking for as they try to pick up another win here in Div 1. Lovely tuck there for TT. Gonna get himself Tetris ready. The bar will show, and Tetris down. Well, in the meantime, Cole having to take some burns. So it will allow TT to expand out to about a 2 Tetris lead. And a couple more awkward pieces for Cole. Not gonna do him any favors, so TT will be able to expand that even further with the next Tetris, going up to 61,000. Alright, Cole set up for the Tetris here. A bit of an awkward left side, but fills it in nicely with a few pieces. In the meantime, Tetris time getting up a bit high here. Needs some good pieces to burn and does create a couple holes in his stack. It's a bit of work to be done, which will allow Cole a brief opportunity back into this game, trailing by 60,000 still. So would love to chip into that lead. Though getting droughted is Cole at the moment, so not really able to capitalize too much on Tetris time's dig. Bit of Tetris there to go up to 342, but TT is going to reopen the well and he's going to score a Tetris to go up to 406. So still a 2 Tetris lead for Tetris time. However, is ahead by a few lines, so pace lead not as strong, just under a Tetris. And TT now running into a bit more complications. So Cole will actually be able to take the lead here with that Tetris going up to 411. Jeez, my mic is peaking. Whoa. Alright, Tetris time. Set up for a very dirty Tetris here. We'll take a nice skim and get the bar for the Tetris. Gonna bring things down. While in the meantime, Cole navigating some burns of his own. Alright, Cole getting cleaned up, but TT getting back into this dig once again. It's been an uncomfortable period of lines here for TT. Though it gets a couple nice bars, and that's a Tetris there for Tetris time. Bringing things down up to 474. Cole back by less than a Tetris. He's at 465 and has lines in hand. Alright, Tetris time going to transition here at 524. Cole's still 10 lines behind, so won't be transitioning just too soon. And Tetris time having to navigate a bit of an early dig here in the 19 speeds. Not quite the most comfortable board, and with that Tetris, Cole actually won't take the lead, but I mean, is still now 2 levels back behind Tetris time. Cole will finally transition there at 562, so ahead of Tetris time by about 2 Tetrises at the 19 transition. But now Tetris time getting up very high here, needs a good piece to bring things down, doesn't get the long bar as he needs it, so has to hold out a little bit longer. Gets a T to the left hand side, no longer Tetris ready, but will set up once again. Waiting on this long bar, 20-piece drought now for Tetris time. Can he find a way down here? Gets the bar for the Tetris. Another one for the triple. He was going to survive, bring things down at 592. But Cole at 596, ahead still slightly. Alright, Cole navigating a bit of an awkward left well set up here. Gets rid of that long bar dependency with a couple nice burns. Now set up for the left well Tetris. In the meantime, Tetris time set up on level 23. You're going to get a Tetris to go up to 664 into level 24. So ahead of Cole rather by just about 1 Tetris. But Cole still 2 levels behind Tetris Time in lines. So a massive pace advantage here for Cole as we approach the middle part of the 19 speeds. Alright, Tetris Time into level 26 here at 791. Approaching that 29 speeds. Where this game will definitely be decided here as both players have played some lovely games so far. Has a bit of a long bar dependency, but gets it quickly to fill in the gap. No problems there for TT. And set up once again here on 26. Has built up a smallish lead here in terms of the pace, while Cole has to have taken a few burns. Currently sitting at 781 to Tetris Time, who's at 867. So now 870 for Tetris Time. Make that a Tetris, going up to 905. 815 for Cole. But Cole is back by a level and a half. So the lead may be 2.5 Tetrises, but much closer in terms of the actual raw pace. Tetris Time going to burn into the 29 speeds, you'd imagine here. Yep, at 977. He's off and running on the 29 speeds. In the meantime, Cole back on level 27 at 882, trailing by 100,000, but still has plenty of time. And Tetris Time's board is breaking down. Needs a piece of the left-hand side to burn. The L won't clear things cleanly. And he's going to top out at 987. So a chase down for Cole. Just needs to get to 988. A Tetris will do it here. And that Tetris will be enough. Cole will take game number 1 of the first match between Cole and Tetris Time. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright, so missed a little bit of stuff in the chat throughout that last game. Hello to Galaxy, Chen, King, all coming to watch. As we are underway here for game number 2. Tetris Time, that is some board. Is technically a VIT setup, but I don't think Tetris Time recognized it. Though got all the bars, and Tetris Time, after skipping the VITs probably, 5 times, will end up still getting it. So the game really wanting him to get that VITs. However, had to take a fair few burns and has allowed Cole